I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with my story, but when I came here in Auburn in '95, I was probably the equivalent of a no-star athlete. I wasn't recruited by anybody. I didn't have any offers to go and play college golf anywhere in the country, really, and I decided to come here and I walked on. So it kind of proves that you can get better through hard work, determination, being honest with yourself, and you can go places in your life from where you're at now in Auburn to doing great things in basketball or any sport or anything that you choose. You guys got great opportunity here at Auburn, great facilities, great coaches. You play basketball in the SEC. There's tons of people that would die for that opportunity, but what are you going to do with that opportunity is really what it's about. And what that means is looking at yourself honestly in the mirror every day. What can I do to be better? What can I do to be a better teammate? How can we make this team better? And how as a team can we get to where we want to be, winning games, competing for SEC championships, competing for national championships. And then some of you guys might be lucky enough to go on to be professionals, and it goes on up that road. You see the guys in the NBA, there aren't too many guys that aren't working hard up there. There's a ton of talent, but what separates it is how they prepare, how they practice, and how they work to get better every day. And I think you can learn, from a lot of athletes, whether it's golfers like myself, NBA guys, I know you guys watch a ton of that stuff, how they work, what their attitude's like, how they treat their teammates. You watch NBA games, I think, LeBron James is my favorite player, unbelievable athlete. But what I admire about him most is how he treats his teammates. He trusts every single one of those guys on that team, whether it's Dwayne Wade, all the way down to the guy who's playing 12th, because everybody has a role and they all buy into that concept to be great, to win championships. So I think you can look at those guys and see what those types of guys do, and try to learn from things like that. And I would encourage all of you guys to, every aspect of your life, to try to make it better so that it can make your basketball game better, so you can be a better player, a better teammate. And really, engage with the coaches. These guys are trying to help you. I know it seems like a lot of times they're busting on you or, going you in the wrong direction, but they're here to make you better too. And I've had a lot of people throughout my life that have really helped me get to this point. At times I, was against them or thinking they weren't going to help me, but there's a lot of people in this room that can help you with knowledge about how to become a better player. And just buy into it, man. And if you think it in your mind and you believe it, it can happen, I promise you. So I just encourage you to just stay with it and stay tough. I know it's been a tough off season for you guys. They've been busting you pretty good, and you're pretty close here to start playing some games. And all that practice and preparation that you guys have been doing is really going to help you in these games, because that should be the fun part. That's where you get to showcase your talents. You get to show off for the coaches and the people that are in the stands watching you, show off for each other. That should be the fun part, is playing those games. So just keep with it, and I'll be I support you. And we come to a lot of games, so we're looking forward to some good wins this year for Auburn basketball. Yeah.
You guys got questions? But tell how much work you put into it. I mean, how much practice time?
It's just different. When I was first starting out, it was 60, 70-hour weeks, 10 hours a day. That was playing, practicing. That was the commitment I wanted to make, to get to where I wanted to be. Now it's a little bit less because I've done it for so long. I take time off a good bit. But, even when I'm here at home, there's 4 or 5 hours a day at least that I've committed to trying to get better when I do it. It might not be every day now that I'm a little bit older, but if I commit a day, I'm going to be there 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I think really being diligent and with your practice, continuing to do the same things. A lot of things I work on now are things that I worked on 6, 7 years ago. Your weaknesses are always going to be your weaknesses. You're always going to have to stay on top of those to make those better. And find some love in practicing things you're not good at. A lot of people don't do that. Nobody likes to practice things they're bad at. It's easy to work on the things you're good at because it makes you feel good. But the only way you're going to get better is to improve your weaknesses and get better at them. All the guys out there are tough. Obviously, Tiger comes to mind. He's probably the greatest golfer in the history of the game. I've competed against him a lot. You know, he's an unbelievably hard worker, extremely talented, and for some reason the best guys in any sport that I see always seem to be the most talented and the hardest worker. Those things go hand to hand, which is pretty unique, I think. You see a lot of guys that are talented, but maybe they're not the greatest, and you see a lot of guys that work hard but might not have the talent, and you can get away with that. But if you're a great talent and you work hard, you're almost destined to be one of the best at what you do. I can play late in my 50s, luckily. Golf, you can go. I started when I was 22 professionally, and there's guys that play into their 60s, so we'll see. I love the game, I love the competition, but I think there's other things in my life that I want to do, so I'm going to dedicate the next 5 years at least to doing what I'm doing and go from there. There's some other things that I think that are out there for me to do besides just playing golf, because it's a commitment, it's full time. You know, there's not much else I'm doing in my life that isn't revolving around playing tournaments, getting better, that type of stuff. So, you know, I think it's easy to look at yourself and say I'm doing okay, I'm doing what I need to do, but it takes a real man to look himself in the mirror and say I need to do this better. I'm not where I want to be with this part of my game or my life, or I'm not at this point where I want to be with my teammates or my coaches. I think you just really need to be honest with yourself that I'm not good at X, Y, Z, and I need to make a commitment to get better at it. You know, I think it's very easy to just say everything's good, I'm doing what I want to, you know, I'm doing what I need to do, I'm not going to worry about what I need to get better at. But I think the true athletes really can look at their weaknesses and be honest with themselves that I need to get better, I need to do this better, I need to get up in the morning and make that commitment to do it, you know.